Hey y'all, Shelley here with another tip for hospice nurses. So today I'm giving a few tips to make Foley catheters more comfortable for your hospice patients. And so the first one's pretty obvious. We're going to use the smallest size possible, which is generally the doctor's going to order 12 to 14, maybe 16 French. But probably 12 to 14. The only time you're probably going to see the bigger ones, the 20 and the 24, is if the patient is at risk for any blood clots. But even more important than the catheter size is the size of the balloon. The bigger the balloon, the higher the risk of bladder spasms. And I've seen patients that have had 20 and 30 cc balloons in place and have had incredibly painful bladder spasms, which is something that happens with an indwelling catheter if it's in there for any length of time. So you're going to go with the smallest one that is probably going to be 5 cc's that you're going to inflate with 10 cc's of sterile water because, you know, our life is not confusing enough, right? Very important to use sterile water, not sterile saline, because over time, saline has the potential of crystallizing and preventing you from deflating the balloon and easily removing the catheter. Lastly, you want to use a Foley stay. And there's two general types of stays. There's the kind that stick on the skin and clamp the catheter in place. And then there's the kind that wrap around the leg and hold the catheter in place. Both have pros and cons. The ones that stick on the skin, I find hold a little bit better. But the risk with those is A, you have the adhesive on the skin, which sometimes that is just not an option. And B, sometimes they tend to not be placed correctly and can actually pull a little bit on the catheter and have this constant pressure with the balloon against the urethra, which we definitely want to avoid. So the kind that wrap around the leg are good because they don't stick on the skin. They tend to not pull quite as much, but I find they don't hold quite as well either. So if I'm use those, a lot of times I'll use 2 of them. You want to make sure that you leave some extra ones for the caregiver too, because these things always become soiled and have to be replaced. But anyway, I hope this tip was helpful. If there's anything you guys would like me to talk about, just let me know. I'd be glad to share it here. And y'all remember, if we work together, we can change our world.